will bait it with some berries to entice a rabbit to come over to me. So that does two things. There are some recipes that require live rabbits, which I will probably save this for. You see the trap has limited uses too, but I'm going to save this rabbit for later because I can probably find enough food. But in an emergency, that rabbit doesn't go bad because he's alive. But at any time, I can hit a button here to murder the rabbit, and it'll turn it into a morsel. Still going north, still looking for gold, but here's a carrot. Let's see if I can hunt another rabbit or two. You saw all the rabbits scurried away when I killed one of them. They get instantly frightened. Hangry is a bit of an understatement. Julia is in Seattle helping one of her friends' wedding plan this weekend. And it was very strategic in me picking this weekend to do this marathon, knowing that she'd be out of town. Not that she wouldn't support me and let me do this anyway, but I would feel very bad neglecting her for this many hours in a row and not being able to talk to her. Though I think next time I'll probably just do it and ask her to come on stream with me and play something, because she and I play a good number of games together, and she's very personable. I think she'd be fun to watch. All right, that's probably enough food, and I have plenty of grass right now. One cool little thing about this game, on roads like this, there's dirt roads and paved roads, but you run a little bit faster. So I'm just going to follow this road for a little bit and see where it takes me. Because I'm really hoping to find gold. Oh, but beefalo will do too. I'll pick up a little bit of manure. They are docile creatures, the beefalo. Their number one usage is they produce manure, which is an ingredient required for farming. You can construct farms and then plant seeds that birds drop, and if you fertilize them with manure, food will grow much, much faster, which just means that eventually you might set up a home base. Oh, I can't carry more stuff. That's a bummer. Eventually you might actually, I'm just not going to worry about this seed and eat it so I have more space. Eventually, you might want to build a home base and plant some farms around you so that you don't have to constantly be on the search for berry bushes and carrots. You can start farming your own vegetables, which is super handy at later stages of the game. We're just going to keep moving through the map to try to find some more biomes, because you've seen kind of some of the plains, you've seen some forest area. There's a few other things that you haven't seen yet. But we're just going to keep exploring and see what we find. Hi, Patty the Squirrel. How's it going? Thanks for joining. If I know you by real name, you can let me know. If you're just joining us for fun, welcome. Thanks for coming. We're playing Don't Starve right now. But if you're interested, I'm going to be playing a bunch of other games, the schedule of which is down at the bottom of my Twitch page. So you can check that out and see if there's anything else I'm playing that you're interested in. This is a super interesting area right here, so I'm probably going to hang out here for as long as I can and make sure I can collect some of this stuff. There's one particular thing I'm looking for besides gold too, and I'll point it out when I find it. But it's essentially something that lets me have a little bit of extra inventory space, because you can see I'm already out of available space, which is kind of a bummer. I can't even carry more grass. Okay. Keep going this way. More food. Hey, my wife is watching as well. Hey, Julia. Glad you're watching. Let's cook a little bit more, eat a little bit more, catch up on the day. This is like the core of what a lot of survival games are. There's a number of survival games out there that are massively multiplayer, that have a lot of the same mechanics of crafting, finding things, but in addition to that, they have other people out in the world who might be trying to steal from you or destroy your base. I personally like this game because it's solo and it's me against the elements, and that's way more my style. But you know, to each their own. I'm just gonna drop all these flowers. I really don't want them. And what else can I build while I'm waiting? I can build an appetite. That's what I can do. Yeah, Patty the Squirrel brings up Don't Starve Together, which is the multiplayer version of this game, which plays out very similarly, except you can have more than one person running around this little world. But you guys play cooperatively, trying to survive the elements together, which is it's a very interesting setup because, you know, for the most part, you have the same amount of usable space, same amount of resources available to you. So you're trying to feed two people at once. You're trying to keep two people healthy and sane at once, off the same number of resources. But you can go off in different directions. So there's some strategies that have you run in different directions from each other at the start, go and collect a bunch of stuff, and then come back together, and you can focus on some different things. Or you can go together the entire time, try to keep up with each other, survive together, and then just collectively pool all of your resources as you go. It's a lot of fun. I've played this. I played Don't Starve Together with a couple of friends, and it's another good cooperative time. It takes a long time to make progress, so it's hard finding people who want to play with you for hours and hours and hours, just to make it a few days in. Where are we on the map? Let's go this way. No, Tanya, I have not played Terraria. It pops up in my Steam like recommendations every once in a while, but I've not actually played it. Would you recommend? Do not mean to do that. I meant to eat some of these while we go. Free up an inventory slot. I really thought this was going to get more interesting by now, and I would have found gold. So another thing about this game that I never mentioned at the beginning of the hour was it is procedurally generated, this map, which means there's a bunch of formulas that the game uses to determine how to lay out the environment, in ways that make sense, in ways that are going to be playable and that you could possibly survive. But it's all random. So every time that you start a new game, you get dropped in the middle of this world, and things are always in a different place. So part of the fun is exploring the new maps that you get. And there we go. Part of the fun is exploring the new maps and finding out where things go. You can see we've already explored this much of it. That's probably, I don't know, 10% of this size map. There's a lot more to see. I appreciate the cup of tea jokes going on in the chat right now. Well done. When I was first planning out this day, dead end. When I was first planning out this marathon, I had planned to play Don't Starve for longer. but too many other games that I wanted to play popped in, so I had to reduce this one down to only 1 hour. But it might be for the best, because I honestly recommend that you just go out and buy it. If you go right now, it is on sale on Steam. I think you can actually buy this, Don't Starve Together, and both DLCs for something like $10 right now, which is an amazing deal. I highly recommend doing it. If it's not Steam, I can't remember if I saw it on Steam or if it was on, might have been on the Humble store, but your PC gaming marketplace of choice will have these games. And as much as it might be fun to watch right now, it's, I guarantee you, more fun to play. So I definitely recommend, if you want to see more of this game, just going and picking it up yourself and messing with it. It takes a little while to learn strategies, and I by far am not the person to tell you the best ones, but once you kind of learn what the basic recipes are and you know how much of everything you need, it makes it easier to get through the early stages of the game. Oh boy. Okay, still exploring, still going. There's a huge wiki dedicated to this game of people. Oh yes, we found gold. Here we go. There's a huge wiki dedicated to this game. Oops. But I can't carry more stuff. What can I drop? What can I drop? Let's drop the pitchforks. I really don't need that. And I probably can't carry rocks either. What else can I get rid of? Oh boy. I guess I'll get rid of the... Oh. Let me just drop this morsel because I have plenty of food right now and I really need the rocks. So yeah, I was saying there's a giant wiki for this game where people have just gone through and populated it with all of the formulas, all of the, damage that each item does, all of the amount of health that each, or hunger that each food item earns you. And it's extremely useful if you don't mind, using a wiki for a little bit of help, especially when you're first getting started, to just kind of learn a little bit about how the game works. And there's a ton of stuff in here. Like, you'll see as soon as I can now build this science machine, so I'll just find a good spot to do it as night falls. Maybe I'll do it a little bit up the road. You're going to see it unlocks, dozens of new recipes, and then the next thing that you buy unlocks another couple dozen new recipes, and it is a huge game, and there's no description as to what anything does. You just have to fiddle with things until you figure out what they're supposed to do, which is fun and frustrating at the same time. Ooh, this is not a good place to be right now. This is a dangerous place to be. Yep, I did not mean to invoke the tall bird's anger, and he's gonna corner me, isn't he? Let's see if I can get far enough away for the nighttime to survive. Alright, use up the rest of my morsels. Cook some of these. There we go. And I'm gonna settle. Where was the beefalo? They were over there, weren't they? I'm gonna quickly run back over to here as soon as it's daytime again and put my base closer to there, because that's a much better long-term plan. A little fuel. We're already halfway through this hour, so I'll show you guys as much as I possibly can, and then we're just gonna have to move on together. I'm gonna drop the straw hat because I'm not gonna. Straw hat is great